New year, same me. A book everyone has read. Print number 1. We've read Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. This video has been like a month in the making. We are doing quite a lot of things today and I just keep getting this coffee absolutely everywhere. But it is time to do a big reset. It is the start of 2025 but also the first month of the year, and honestly January is probably one of my least favorite months of the entire year. Christmas and the end of year is one of my favorite times, so I just feel like January, you know, we kind of go into the January blues a little bit. So I try to be productive, and I'm not someone who really sets New Year's resolutions or expectations on myself. It's new year, same me, just hopefully better. That's about it. But there are things that I like to do. I know every season in some of my vlogs and stuff you'll see that I'll clear out things, organize things, keep on top of things, but I like to do a big end of year, start of new year reset. So this morning I have already done my weekend cleaning routine. I didn't film that for this video because otherwise this video would be hours long, but you can see in this video I do like a full deep cleaning and everything. That is what we have done already, and we're just going to continue on and do some other things. So today we're going to be clearing out my books, going through my wardrobe. I am doing a reading room office redecoration this year, so we're going to update my gallery wall today. We need to clear out this space. I need to go through all my cupboards and my drawers, and there's like PR parcels I want to put together for some people to give away. I'm gonna make vision boards for the year. I'm gonna start a book journal. So many things. So, and little Coops here is very happy to be here, aren't you? You're so cute. Hi. She did just go and jump up on the chair there. What are you doing? I think we're going to do a little screen recording now, because if we have an entire list of things that we need to do, we need to write a to-do list. That is the first step to getting organized. So I have spoken about Akiflow before on this channel, but Akiflow is probably the only task planning app that I use. It is where I keep track of my day-to-day planning, my to-do lists, my calendar. I've not heard of Akiflow before. Akiflow is an intuitive time blocking platform that streamlines your task scheduling process, basically to maximize productivity but also make your work more efficient. So as someone who is self-employed, works for themselves, and is also very type A, likes to be very organized, in the past I've needed to use multiple different apps for different things and notes and reminders and to-dos and things like that, and this is sort of the one place that has it all for me. So I have a very specific workflow, and I'll show you how it works, because with my ADHD some of the features that you can use have changed my life, so not to be dramatic or anything. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. We're going to just plan out the day. So I have on a repeat calendar these work time blocking sections, because I will write out like a master to-do list and then I can move items over into my tasks for the day, and then at the end of the day, if I have any tasks left over, I can reassign them to the next day, so that when I'm logging on for work I can see what I didn't get done in the time frame or what I need to pick up. What I'm basically just going to do to start out with is just write all the tasks that I need to do for the day or for the month. We need to make vision boards for 2025. Need to unhaul books, and what you can probably see here is Akiflow's AI system being put into place. I have projects on the side for admin, socials, and business. What it does here is the AI just gets smarter every time you use it, so instead of me having to go in and automatically assign what project it is for to keep things just more organized, it will automatically figure it out for you and do it. You just click onto the calendar and then you can choose to make it a task, like a to-do task that you can tick off. An event, you can sync your calendars to this if you use like Google Calendar, and it will link it to that specific calendar. You can even integrate Slack, but I'm going for a time slot, so this is our reset for 2025. And then in here itself you can add individual to-do lists, or what we can do is just move everything that we put in our to-do list into there for today. In the bottom here as well, you can see replan undone tasks. So if I didn't get everything done that we needed to get done today, I just click replan task and I can move it to tomorrow. I have actually already unhauled some books and put together PR parcels, so we're going to tick both of them off. And if you want to try Akiflow out today and you have absolutely no idea how to use it or where to start, when you sign up you do get a exclusive one-to-one onboarding call with someone who can run you through how to use the program and give you some tips and tricks and things to help you find out how it could be helpful to you and your specific workflow. But I like to keep it pretty simple and straightforward because that's just the way that my brain likes to work. We're gonna jump back to when I did my unhauling of books and clearing out, you know, putting PR parcels together, and then we'll catch back up when we've done that. I am a very clean and organized person. I'm not a minimalist, but I don't hoard a lot of stuff and I don't like to keep stuff that I don't use. So I've sort of just brought everything out of my areas and where I was storing stuff, and I've just chucked them all over my office, so then that way we can go through and clear them up. So I'll go through all of my like drawers, my makeup, everything. Anything that I don't use, haven't used, will not use, is maybe expired, we'll get rid of. I've got a lot of PR that brands have sent me throughout the year of like products I have duplicates of, things that aren't, you know, aren't suitable for my skin or shade, you know, not the right shades, or products that I just already own and have or not my favorites. What I did last year was I put together 4 boxes of like PR goodies and gave them away on my Instagram stories, so I think I'll do the same this year. I don't know how many boxes I'll be able to put together, but a couple. But I have a lot of stuff. I'm just not someone who likes things to go to waste, and I am only one person. I can only use so many things. I'm very, very lucky to receive PR and products from brands, but a lot of them will just send things without letting you know in advance. Like, you're just on a mailing list, and I get a lot of duplicates that way, and also they send me more stuff than I can go through the products for. I'm gonna go through all my stuff, figure out what I can donate, what I can give away to like my mom and sister and friends, what I can give away to some of you guys, things that need to be binned. We're going through all my like beauty skincare products. I also have already rearranged my bookshelves again, and they will be getting reorganized again very soon, but I've taken like 40 books off of my shelves because I'm trying to figure out, I think we're maybe going to start using the top of the bookshelf, but I've also decided I only want books on my shelves that are like 4 and 5-star reads, books that I am obsessed with, that I love, that I will reread or want to reread, rather than just keeping a book because I've read it. Like, I don't really care too much about having a big book collection or like 1,000 books to hit like a home library. If I have 2 books or if I have 200, it's still my home library personally. A couple of publishers have sent me books that I already own copies of. So I have like a lot of duplicates of stuff, or also just like book series that I read and I enjoyed but like aren't my favorite and I want to unhaul. So I need to go through them and figure out what's like a priority TBR, books that I want to read, books that have been sitting on my shelves for ages that I'm just not reaching to pick up at all. What can I sort of take off if there's anything that I want to unhaul, or ones that I want to prioritize reading in the new year, the books to donate, books to probably list on Vinted and sell on Vinted. My Vinted is gonna get so updated in January. We're gonna have clothes, books, that's about it, but I want to go through and organize everything. I don't like clutter, I don't like mess, I don't like junk, I don't like hoarding stuff, and I'm getting antsy. It all just being around here in my office. So I'm going to put an audiobook on. I've got The Serpent and Dove trilogy, book 2. I'm 50% of the way through and I've got 50% left to listen to on audio, so I think we'll pop the audiobook for that on because I'm not too fussed about reading that. Listen to as much of that as I can while I'm organizing, putting stuff away, and that's what we'll do today. In 2 days time I think I'm making mood boards with my sister. I got a journal for Christmas so that I can do a book journal for 2025. I don't own a printer and I'm very lazy at printing things, so my sister has one, so I can maybe prepare that before we go in 2 days so that I can use her printer to start off my book journal, whatever I need. But that will be doing that in this vlog. So much to sort through and organize, so let's do it. I'm also listening to the audiobook on Libby because in the UK you can't get Libby books sent to your Kindle. The ebooks can only be read through the app. It's only like America and other places that have that Kindle agreement, so I mainly use my Libby for audiobooks. It's a great way if you want to listen to audiobooks for free. Join your local library and see if they do ebooks and audiobooks, because Edinburgh does, for any of my Scottish girlies. Like, most of the UK I think any local library uses Libby nowadays, which is great because I have an Audible subscription and both my brother and my mum gave me credits for that, so I get like 2 books every month for the next few months with Audible, and then I get my 15 hours with Spotify. But if I'm in the mood to listen to an audiobook, I can listen to them free through Libby, so that's what we're doing. We're listening to Blood and Honey.
Deeper than any flesh wound ever could. I thought raw, exposed, cut past muscle and bone.
Audiobook progress. We're 90% of the way through, so there's only 10% left to read or listen to in this case. And I think I've done all the organizing in this room for today. I've gone through all the PR and I've put together 3 boxes, so I need to take photos of them tomorrow to put on my stories so that I can give them away. I have cleared out all of my beauty and skincare makeup drawers and thrown away the stuff I haven't used, stuff that was expired, things like that. And I went through the most of this is wardrobes, but the last one I use is like a cupboard storage stuff for all my like art supplies and things like that. So I went through and gutted that. So we have like 4 bin bags. I also went in the bathroom and cleared out everything under the sinks, and then went through some of my like old pajamas and stuff and put some stuff in a bag to get rid of. Pulled out all my like Illumicrate and Fairy Loot boxes and stuff, because anytime I order any books online or I get books sent to me, I try to keep the packaging that it comes in so then I can use it to ship books as when I decided to unhaul them or like sell them. I pulled all them out, so then tomorrow what I can do is go through them all and take photos of the ones that I want to list on Vinted and stuff and list them. So we still have to do my actual wardrobe of clothes and stuff for Vinted. Need to take photos and go through the books, figure out what I'm going to sell there. But we did get a big chunk of this done today. It is literally 24 hours later and I'm wearing the same thing. I thought it would take me like 2 hours to take photos of the books and stuff, and I didn't bring the camera out for that. I just spontaneously decided that I was gonna take photos of all my books and list them, and then I listed them and then they sold like immediately. Like I think there's 4 books left. I don't want to show anyone's address or details, but we have a massive Primark like reusable bag, and then a bag for life from Sainsbury's. Excited. Oh, and all of these are to go to the skip and for donation. So that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. We'll be dropping off parcels at in-post lockers and then doing a trip to the skip. This is the situation that we're left with. I keep all of my Fairy Loot bags because they're just good to put books in for like traveling, but also like for selling on. It's just so the books don't get damaged in transit and stuff, but they are some of the books that I have left for sale, so not that many. Also, it's only like half of them. Some of them I'm giving away to friends, and I've completely run out of boxes. All of the boxes that we had, all the Fairy Loot boxes and Amazon parcels and Waterstone boxes and stuff, used to package up all the orders that we sold. So if anyone else buys a book, I'm gonna need to buy some boxes or something to ship them in, because I don't want to do them in like the same mailers that I ship clothes in, just because I feel like a book could get damaged that way. That took so much time. I've done like 2 more loads of laundry, but right now I'm actually just gonna put together a new TBR jar because I've got one here. I need to film my TBR video tomorrow, but this is my normal one. I'm gonna make one just for Kindle books, so then when I pull my January reads, I can just pick some for physical TBR and some for Kindle TBR, because priority right now is honestly Kindle TBR because that's what I want to read. I tried to put inside all of the books as well, like a little bookmark and then like a sticker or a pin or something bookish that I have, because I have an abundance of those and no need for me to use them all. So I also put a little sticky note with just like a little thank you for buying a book secondhand and giving it a new home, because I always try to buy books on Vinted or buy books secondhand if and when I can, and I love that other people do too. I try to keep my books in as nice condition and good condition as I possibly can, but some of the books I'd listed for like £2 because they're good, but you know, it's a secondhand book. A lot of these books I loved in the moment but haven't really thought too much of since, and hopefully some of these can become someone else's new favorite books. But I did get a message, I think it was from Neve, who asked me to write a little note inside the book itself, and that's brave because I am definitely gonna have ruined that book now by writing in it. But she just wanted me to write a little message. Thank you so much for buying a book from me. I hope it's okay. I hope it's gone to a good new loving home and that you love it. But I always pop up stories on my Instagram, either my personal or my Bookstagram. Usually I'll repost it on both so that everyone can see if you're just following one and not the other. But whenever I'll like put stuff up on Vinted and books and things in the moment, that's where I will share it. So obviously this video is going up and all the books will be sold by now. That's typically where I sell my books because we don't have too many dedicated book selling websites and places in the UK. I know the US have quite a few. Vinted's where I get mine, so that's where I'll list them. And I honestly feel, bless you, Cooper, you're sneezing a lot right now. I also had to turn off like all shipping options except for InPost because others were going missing and having issues with them. So I literally have one shipping option on my Vinted, which is not ideal, but want to make sure that everything gets to everyone safely and fast. So fingers crossed there are no issues. For the TBR jar, I'm gonna go with this mug. So I thought this would be cute because we can put blue and green sticky notes in because the other one has pink and yellow. So these will be Kindle prompts. And I watched Bestie Laura set up her TBR jar. I'm just moving you guys while I talk at the same time. But I watched Bestie Laura set up her TBR jar and she was like coming up with prompts and stuff. So I thought let's do that together. I'm honestly just gonna make some stuff up, and then if you guys have any ideas or suggestions, so when this video goes up, I can look at your suggestions and then add them to the jar. So we'll only put a few in for now, but I think we're gonna do a dark romance because I will read dark romances all on my Kindle, especially because the covers most of the time are not that cute or pretty or aesthetic, but if I love them then I'll buy the books. Also a lot of dark romances I want to read are on Kindle Unlimited. A KU. My handwriting is also not great, but who cares? We'll do continuing a series you're in the middle of. Oh, what about a series that you've paused but are going to finish on Kindle? I can do one of my Kindle downloads that I have downloaded that I need to read. I have so much that I need to do. Honestly, this 2-day reset is going to turn into a full week reset. An indie fantasy romance. We could just do an indie author. From your 25 to read in 2025. A book you're dying to read. And honestly, you know what? I want to read the Renaverse, so we're going to put a specific Rena Ken in there. So we'll put continue the Renaverse. Oh, I could get the besties choose your current favorite genre. Could also do a book under 400 pages and a book over 600 pages. And then I think we'll do complete a series because there's a few books that I've got one book left to read and I can read them on Kindle. 5-star prediction. A book talk fave. A book everyone keeps telling you to read because you guys keep telling me to read a lot of KU books. A book everyone has read except you. Okay, I think that's what we'll do for now. There's the jar. Pop that on the TBR cart. And then I also have 2 new additions to the bookshelf that came today. Before everyone asks me in their comments, this jumper is from Literature Stitches. If I'm wearing a jumper in my videos or like bookish merch, there's only 4 places that it could possibly be from. It's either from Literature Stitches, Books with Jess Bookshop, House of Jupiter, and Embroideries with like my bookish merch collab. This one is from Literature Stitches and you can use my code EmmyRosem10 and that will give you 10% off your order. I don't get any affiliate or commission or anything for that. That's just a code they gave me to share with you guys if you want to get a little bit of a discount off. But they're the 4 places that all my bookish merch is from. But I bought myself a little jelly cat. We got a dragon jelly cat and Bestie Larry sent me a book as well. So this is the little dragon that I got. I would die to get like the black one or even the other colors, so you know they're like tan and Andana, but they're like sold out everywhere. And they had this little green one and it's so cute. It's like a little sage green. So it's just sitting on my dark romance books right now because I didn't know where else to put him. But Bestie Larry sent me God of Fury, which was so sweet of her. She sent it with a note as well that I keep in the book because it's just so nice. I know this isn't going to match your other covers because the books are being traditionally republished in the UK, so they have different covers and only the first 3 out of the 6 books are out and this is the 5th one, so it's not out yet. But she says, but you can organize them really cutely on your shelf and have this one displayed. Had to give you my fave and I'm appalled you can't hold the paperback yet. Love you from Larissa Larry, because Larry is in my phone contact under Larissa Larry. That is her full name to me. Her name is Larissa Larry Reads. I absolutely adore her, and I also can't believe that technically I can sit here and say I'm gonna see her next month. That is crazy. Time is flying by. But besties New York book trip coming round so soon. God of Malice and God of Fury were 6 stars. It's a 6-star series to me. I love this. If you don't like dark romance, I've never read dark romance, don't read this yet. But this is her least dark out of them all. Like, this one is quite tame compared to the rest. It's such a beautiful story. I love it. I cried so much. Here's a photo of me crying when I read this book. Beautiful. Okay, so then 2 things that I want to do before it starts to get darker or the sun sets a bit later. I want to redecorate the office, and also vision boards we can save for a bit later, as well as book journal. We can keep them to the end. So I think that we'll start with the gallery wall. I need to take some measurements of my office space here with I need to get a tape measure out, but I think gallery wall first. It's very wonky at the moment. So this is my gallery wall. Bestie Laura has some bookish prints on her Etsy store, so I went and bought all of them. I got them printed because they're like digital downloads. I went and got them printed online, pretty cheap, like photo box, and they've arrived, so we can swap out some of the prints. But we're going for a pink and green theme, I think, still keeping some of the prints that I have, and then adding in some more bookish ones. So we've got one that says live, laugh, leave by 9 p.m, which is wonderful because that just sums me up as a person, but also probably reading romantasy. We have a very cute girly books and wine make everything fine. She had a square print, but I thought it might look cute if I did it white, as in like a white border. Once upon a time, it's the Throne of Glass thing. So once upon a time in a land long since burned to ash, there lived a young princess who loved her kingdom. Oh, I'll cry if I think about it too much. And then we have like a Throne of Glass collage montage, very aesthetic, very Pinteresty. So I'm gonna switch them out with some of the frames that we have here. My frames and everything I've just collected over the years from like Desenio and IKEA. You can tell which ones are the IKEA ones because they're nowhere near as nice as the Desenio ones. So we have print number 1. Ooh, just running into everything. Oh, that looks good. Jesus! Okay, I need to move chairs and hazards out the way. So that is the gallery wall done. We can tick that off. And now I can get the tape measure out and check the space sizing for a reading chair. Currently I have this chair from Amazon. I've had it for a while. It's not great. I had it when I had a vanity in here before I ever had my books. I used to have like my makeup and vanity. Kept the chair. I thought just decorative for now, but to actually sit in for more than like an hour or so, it's not the most comfortable. So I do want to get a bigger one, but I'm quite limited in space here. So we're going to move this out the way and then just measure the space, because I mean, I have wardrobes at the back, so I can't have anything that will block the wardrobe. So I've looked at a couple chairs, and there's like swivel ones that will like move around. So I'm like, I could just have a big swivel one in the space here. Because what else am I using this space for? Nothing, it's just empty space. So what does it matter if I have a big chair here that I can like face my books or like swivel around, and then there's like a space around here to still walk around to be able to open the cupboards up. So that's width. Height is okay, so that'll be the back of the chair. That's enough space for me to move around. And then depth is like here. Okay, interesting. I look like I don't know what I'm doing, and that's because I don't know what I'm doing right now. But measurements done. Move this one back into place. This just sort of sits wherever. I haven't really got a spot for it. You might be thinking, don't I have a whole couch here? Yes, I do. It's a sofa bed, so whenever we have guests or something, we're supposed to be able to pull it out, but I can't actually pull it out because of where my desk and position is. So we do have this couch, but I don't want to get rid of this couch because it is a sofa bed. When we eventually buy a house, we want to keep it for either like Cammie's room or like our spare guest room. I like the other side of the office better to sit and look at because I've got my gallery wall, I've got my books, I have everything. So I'd rather sit on that side of the room than this side of the room. Does that make any sense? We've spruced up the prints in here, made it a bit more fun. And then I have confirmed my measurements for what I can fit in the space in terms of a reading chair. So tick those off the list. The next thing we're going to do is I'm probably just going to put on some booktube and pull out clothes that I either haven't worn in a while or want to unhaul. I'm a texture person. I will buy clothes and then think, yeah, I'll wear them, but then when I go to pull them out, I'm like, I don't like the way that this feels on me, or, you know, I thought that I would like it more when I went to style it, I couldn't. So a lot of the things, when I buy them, I'll go right away, like, do I want to keep this, yes or no, and then I'll return them. But sometimes there are things that I keep that I think I'll love or think I'll wear, and then I never actually reach for them. So they still have tags on, they're still new. I sort of give myself like a 3-month window. If I don't wear it in 3 months, then it's getting taken out of the wardrobe. So we're just gonna go through, I will pull things out of my wardrobe, and I like to take photos while I do that, and then put them all to a side, go through them, and then figure out what I'm keeping, what I'm gonna list on Vinted, and upload them. So what we're going to do next is put together a vision board. So back in the new year with my sister, we wrote up plans for vision boards, and I did it on my iPad. Now, I just kind of did mood boards based off aesthetics and vibes, and my sister very kindly told me that that isn't a vision board if you want to manifest a proper vision board. So she took me through it and made me write out goals for the year. So I had like 4 pillars of goals, you know, personal goals and growth and stuff, but it's like, I'd love to hit 50k on YouTube. I mean, I think everyone who does YouTube would love to hit 100k at some point and get a silver play button. That's like my long-term goal. But for 2025, I would love to hit 50k. I think that's a reasonable goal. Hobbies, I'd love to scrapbook every month, maybe find a new hobby, spend some time each month trying out new cozy crafts. Progress with my dance classes, continue on with those. With my work and business, I'd love to sign another full-time creator at our agency. You know, I want to keep saving for a house deposit. So then we have a breakdown of the goals, why that's a goal, how I think I could get there, and then an action plan. So we can look at this at the end of the year and see, am I implementing these things into my routine? Because obviously if I'm like, I would love to scrapbook each month, but then I'm not setting time aside once a month to scrapbook, then I'm not going to do it, you know? So it's sort of just a bit more intentional than just looking up on Pinterest and taking pretty photos and putting them together. So I've put together a mood board here that has things to do with my 2025 vision board. So it's a lot of like reading and relaxation, like Pilates classes, my ballet, junk journaling, scrapbooking, book journaling, 50k subscribers. I've got a photo of a car there because I'd love to pay off more of my car and probably actually sell that at some point this year. A new house key because we're saving for a deposit and a mortgage, you know, business related stuff, some motivational quotes. So I'm gonna just take these photos and pop them into a little Photoshop board. This is my sort of vision board, mood board for last year. It's, as you can see, my desktop for my computer. So I make them my desktops for my laptop and my computer, and then I make one for my phone and my iPad. So then that way, every time I'm picking up a device or logging on or clocking in, I have that visual there to remind me. So this is one of the 2 that I made last year. Now the 100k plaque button I put on every year. That's just like that's what we're working towards, but I wanted to hit 20k on all my socials, Instagram, TikTok and YouTube, and we have done that. We did that. So I can update that to a 50k. But as you can see, this is just an aesthetic, it's just vibes. It's not, other than that, what else? We're gonna make this one a little bit more intentional. So I'm just gonna go through and download all of the photos and then start placing them on the board, and then we can go in and put like more aesthetic filler ones, but at least these would be more intentional. So okay, so I think that's going to be my vision board for now. We've sort of made it so it's touching all my goals. It's got saving for a house and a mortgage. It's got, you know, in terms of like business and work, visuals of goals that I want to achieve and having a successful year. It's got a lot more reading, journaling, knitting, puzzles, crafty things, so I can prioritize and focus on my hobbies. It's got stuff to do with like fitness and ballet and dance, savings goals, things I want to save for, just things I want to do more, is take more photos, tomorrow's journal more, be a bit more present, spend more time with friends. And all of these images kind of link back to the goals that I had written out that I wanted to achieve this year, and visual reminders of how I'm going to achieve them. So I think I'm gonna make this my new wallpaper for the year. And there we go, that's it as my wallpaper there, so I can keep looking at it. So I'm gonna just use the same sort of visuals and make one for my phone with the same images. It's just like a slightly different size. So we're gonna do that quickly. Hello everyone, so now it is time for us to start the book journal for the year. I got this like dotted notebook for Christmas, and I wanted like a thicker paper so that it had less chance of bleeding through. But this is, it was on Amazon, but it's from Scribbles That Matter. I think that's what like the brand is. It's come with a little divider guide. That's cute, a little like ruler thing. That'll probably be really handy. But yeah, it's just plain and dotted. Now I haven't done a book journal. I thought this year we'll try to do one. I have had a junk journal, bullet journals and scrapbooks over the years, and it's just something very therapeutic and something that I have been bad in the last like 2 years at prioritizing or doing something, but it's very therapeutic, it's very relaxing, and I like doing something a bit crafty with my hands. So I think once a month I'm going to prioritize a day or an evening to maybe listen to an audiobook, catch up on some booktube, something where I can sit for an hour or so. I have no idea how I want to set it up. I might have a look on Pinterest for some ideas for spreads or layouts. I've not watched anyone else's book journaling videos recently. I really don't have a plan. We're kind of going in blind, but I did print out, I don't have a printer at my house, so I went to my parents and used their printer, so it's a little bit, you know, fumbled, but I printed out the 25 books that I want to read in 2025. This vlog is taking me like 3 weeks to film, and I didn't want to print out the books that I've read so far. I thought we can wait until the month is finished once I've done my wrap up, and then I can just print out all the books I read that month and do my January spreads and stuff in February, if that makes sense. And maybe we can do a video like this each month where we sit and do some crafty stuff together. If this isn't a massive fail, January honestly has been a bit all over the place for me, but a clean and organized space and getting organized digitally as well with like calendars and planning and stuff makes me mentally feel much more clear-headed and organized. So really just taking these last couple of weeks to just go through and declutter and reset everything. So I've just put up a poll to pick our book club book for February too. So by the time this video goes live, our book club book will have already been chosen. You can join for free. It's on the Fable app. It is linked down below all the time. It's one of the first things in my description. I also have a link for it on all my socials if you just click the link in my bio. But on Fable, anyone can join. International, you just need to have the Fable app and sign up for it if you're not already. But again, you can do that through my link. And then we read a book together each month, and then at the end of the month I share a link to a secret YouTube vlog that only my book club members have access to. So if you join the book club today, you will have access to the backlog of videos. You just have to go through the archive and find the playlist link or the individual video links in the kickoff chats. We're just sitting and cutting up the little books now and then figuring out what we're doing for spreads. I think for the book journal we'll do like a 2025 page here, and then we'll just leave this blank because maybe we'll do like a collage or something cute with like collecting all the bookish stickers and stuff I get. So for now I'll leave that, and then I want to do like my key, like my rating system, how I rate books here. And then I want to do, I don't know what we'll do on the other page. We might leave that blank for now, and then have my 25 books I want to read in 2025. And then I want to have series that I'm in the middle of reading, and I want to leave enough space, so maybe a couple pages, for me to be able to write all the series I'm currently in the middle of reading and want to try and complete, but then space for as I finish those series and start reading new ones, we can add them on. And then I think each month in January I will do a little summary of like my books I read for the month and break down like the stats for them, my ratings for them. I don't really care too much about doing pages read or like a reading tracker and stuff because I read every single day. I don't want to do too much that I then just don't use those pages. And I also want to add stuff as I go along. I don't want to like set out the whole month of January to then come back and later be like, oh, I didn't actually need to use that or want to do that. So I think it's something I'll slowly build up as I go along, and then that way I'll probably use it properly. So that's currently the plan, but I don't have any like stickers or anything. I want to get some stickers. I do have like some scrapbooking-ish stuff. I've got some little paper. I've got glue and I've got like double-sided tape and I've got washi tape. So we might just order some stickers and stuff, but keep it quite plain for now. But I do want to get some reading done tonight, so I don't think I'll spend too long doing this, but do this for a little bit, see where we get up to. I don't have like an overhead tripod or anything that I can use to film this, so we'll just do a little time lapse of me filling out what I can, and then I'll show you like a flip through, because otherwise the angle is just like gonna hurt your eyes. So I've just spent almost the last hour doing this, and it's so bare, but this is something that we're gonna like, I'm gonna order some stickers, I'm gonna maybe get some more like crafty supplies, and I think over time add bits to it, because I'd rather do too little than too much right now and build it up. So it is very bare, but right now we have our 2025 reading journal page, and I kind of want to make this like a collage throughout the year of just like vibes and memories and stickers and little printouts and stuff. And then we have the rating guide. I don't know what to do on the other side here, I haven't decided, but I want to put something on the bottom of the rating guide here. I'm not too sure, but that's it so far. And I just decided to do like the sort of the same heading for the start of the book. Then we have my 2025 books for 2025, and then I thought we could tick off the ones that I read by putting the star ratings underneath them. Then I was like, oh, I can't do like quarter stars very well that way, so underneath I have the rating. So far out of the 25 books we want to read in 2025, we've already read 2. We've read Corrupt by Penelope Douglas, and we've read Assistant to the Villain, so I've put their ratings under there. The Sword of Kaigan is currently like my January book club book that I'm working my way through, so that will be finished. And then for our February book club book, I think the options that we have are the Ever King, Legendborn, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, and then another book that's not on here. But a lot of the suggestions that I'm getting are ones that are on here, so I'm quite happy. Like, we're first month into the year and we've already read 3 books on this so far. Hopefully we can continue to make some more progress, but I don't want to do too much with this page because it's already quite full. And then I just have a list here of book series I'm in the middle of and completing. I don't know if I want to put new releases on here, like for example Onyx Storm and Fourth Wing, because I read Fourth Wing and Iron Flame in 2024 and only Onyx Storm was coming out. Like, the series won't be complete. Maybe new series that I start in the year, even if they won't be complete, and then older series that I'm in the middle of completing will be put here. I don't know. Or if new releases come out, then I can put the books on here. But right now we've got Devil's Night, and I actually read the entire series and the novella, so ticked all that off. Assistant to the Villain, I've listened to the audiobook for Assistant to the Villain, and I've got the next book to read. House of Devils, I read book 1. Bride of the Shadow King, I read book 1 and book 2. I've just got the 3rd one to finish, and then that's the series complete. The Eye of the Goddess, A Tribute of Fire, I read, and I'm pretty sure book 2 is coming out 2025. Artifacts for Uranus, I read the first 2 books at the end of last year, and then I finished the series in January. The Windy City, just like a contemporary series I'm making my way through as like interconnected standalones. Serpent and Dove, I need to finish off that series. I've got 1 book left for that. Same with The Plated Prisoner, just have 1 book left for that. The Legacy series, the 4th and final book, comes out at the end of the year, and I read them between Christmas and the first week of January. Then we've got the Red Rising series, the Mistborn series, the Sacred Stones trilogy, which are 3 book series that I want to start making my way through this year. We have the Throne duet, which I've started, well, I'm starting tonight, so I'm putting it there. So I'm not going to go back through it, and I don't think, and put like all the books that I've read, like Akatar series and Throne of Glass and stuff, because they're book series I completed last year. So I think this will just be like what I'm prioritizing completing this year, and then when I start new book series that I can read more than one book for this year, I think we'll add it onto here. So for example, Serpent and Dove and The Plated Prisoner, even though I started them last year, they're complete series that I can complete this year, if that makes sense. Like I still need to tick that off and then that would be complete. Whereas Heavenly Bodies, I'm reading 2 books from that series in the same year, because more than one, it goes on the list. I think that way we can keep this manageable. And again, like new releases as they come out, I try to read them as they're being released. So the Shadows of the Tenebrous Court I've not even put on here because book 3 was just recently released and that's the series going to be complete, but it's a new release, so I'm not considering it as being a series that I'm in the middle of. I don't know if my thought process makes sense to anyone but me, but it is my thought process, so it only needs to make sense to me. Okay, so I added a little bit more. I did a little January spread. We have this little book here. And then I did my January TBR. So that was my TBR for the month of January. And then I'm just coloring in the books that I read. I didn't bother to do like a key of like why I rated them, because I'm gonna do like an actual wrap up page with my books for the month and ratings and then any notes and thoughts. So I don't need to have like multiple pages of what I rated them and thoughts and ideas and stuff. But I thought we'll do that for now, and then at the end of January we can add some bits, but I might have to do some research and see what other people have done in their book journals or inspiration, because I don't want it, like I want it aesthetically cute, but I also want it to be functional. So yeah, for now it's a good start. We've set it out, and at the end of the month we can add to it and continue to make it better. But a fun little crafty project to do this year. So now I have started my book journal. The hardest thing to do when you're trying to do anything is just start and begin. So we've made the first step, and that is the book journal. So it is a little bit later, and I thought that we'd maybe just like go through and reorganize the TBR cart. I read Bride of the Shadow King and Vow of the Shadow King in January. I don't think I'll get time to finish half the Shadow King, but that's going on the TBR to try and finish and pick up. And then a new edition I got, I think this is an ARC proof copy, yeah, of Spiral, which it looks like a hockey and ballerina romance. I think the book already came out in January. That's very cute, but I think the artwork of this is adorable. So it says, she's the only one he can't play it cool around. He's on edge, she's on point. Things are about to spiral out of control. And I have seen some really cute reviews of this, so we'll also add that to the TBR. But I do want to adjust it, so I want to have all my ARC copies and like my proofs in one place. Move these ones down. Okay, so that's it a bit more organized. And all the books that I have on my TBR, we have The Hurricane Wars, Lady of Darkness, Legendborn, Heart of the Shadow King, Songlight, Spiral, Iron and Embers, A Fate Forged in Fire, The West Wind, The 3 Lives of Kate K, A Dance of Lives, Lore of the Wilds, Immortal Dark, Vilest Things, The Poppy War. I have got What the River Knows and Where the Library Hides, Butcher and Blackbird, Leather and Lark, The Dance of Thieves duology, the first book in the Mortal Instruments series. And then round the back is more of like the books I've had on there, probably the longest. These Violent Delights, The Bone Season, Lore, The Lights That Blind Us, The Atlas Six and the Atlas Paradox, A River Enchanted, and Sister of Swords and Songs. And that is my physical TBR. I do have like Kindle prompts that we put up there, but I kind of want to finish off some of the candles that I currently have burning and use a bigger empty jar to put the mix of the two, because I know that the green and blue prompts that we made together are Kindle ones, and then we've got the pink and the yellow ones for just general prompts for physical TBR and also Kindle reads. So if I'm putting them in one big jar, I can pull out a specific color if I want more of a Kindle book or a physical TBR book, and then that way it can take up a bit less room on the top here. But other than that, I think the only other books on my bookshelf that are also on my physical TBR are just like Mistborn Trilogy, books 2 and 3, Red Rising, books 2 and 3, and then some of my special editions. That's pretty much it. So not too many books, and a lot of them I've got 2 books in series, so once I read one I can kind of knock them all out. But yeah, that's a bit more organized and better now. And that is the end of this video. I could continue resetting and organizing and tidying, but I think I'm just going to try and do a little bit each month as we go. So we might do a few of these reset bookish vlogs throughout the year where we're sort of like, you know, going through my books, making sure that I just sort of have my favorite reads on the bookshelf, unhauling things. I think I want to be a bit more conscious with the books that I'm buying this year, or like decide if I want to read them on Kindle first. And then also my book journal. I'm excited to do a bit more research and looking into ideas of what to do with that, but we could update that together. I feel like having a clear, organized space just makes my brain feel a little bit less overwhelmed. So now that we've gone through my like to-do list of planning and everything that needs to be done, and we've gotten it all done, we can just continue to move forward. So very happy with that. I think I'm gonna go do some reading now. I think it's well deserved, and I will see you guys in another vlog. Bye.